right, everyone. It's the time you've been waiting for. Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, let me tell you, I'm going to start off this show by thanking the godfather himself of senior services across this state of Illinois, Mr. Mike Quirk and Seniors Blue Book. A month ago or some days, I received this beautiful email introducing me to this phenomenal product that is really, honestly, it's life-changing in itself. I have the founder, the owner, one of the coolest guys that is just bringing this dynamic senior smartwatch to the country. We get ready to kick off. So you are part of the first initial demonstration of this beautiful product. So we want to welcome our new community partner, pingcares.com CEO founder, my friend Sean. Welcome to Senior Talk. How are you today?
Doing wonderful. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for having me, Clara.
It is my pleasure. So, as we know, you and we met over the last couple of weeks, and we just talked candidly about this phenomenal product. So before we go any further, let's be introduced to who Sean is. Then we're going to talk about the development of Ping Cares and the need, and then we're going to show them some great video of this great product.
Sure. That sounds great. Well, I currently live in Chicago. Originally, I was born and raised in China. I moved here as a teenager to the U.S. and had to learn English from the ground up. And quite a few of my family members are still back home in Beijing. So two of them are my grandparents. Since I moved here about 17 years ago, I've always wanted to keep better tabs on my grandparents, and that's always been a challenge, Clara. Mm-hmm. There's a 13-hour time difference, so it's the complete opposite. Right now, it's 12 o'clock Central Time, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning in China. So if I wanted to call up my grandma and see how she's doing, I probably shouldn't be doing that because she's sleeping.
Right.
So especially during COVID time, that made it very difficult to be able to check in on how they're doing. And so I had this idea that basically merges the current smart devices that you can see with Apple, Fitbit, where the user typically gets to see their own information as far as heart rate, activity levels, how did they sleep the night before. But that information is only for themselves. And so I thought, why not use the availability of internet and make that information available for anybody across the globe? So in my case, I can see how my grandma is doing right now if I wanted to.
Wow. So with the time difference, there is a lot of pressure. And even without the time difference, I mean, let's be clear. I mean, we're both, and I'm just going to throw it out there, we're both under 60. So we have different schedules and our lives are just not the same. We're working remotely and all the things that come with it, still wanting to, a lot of us now post-pandemic had to really take on the ownership of being responsible for their loved ones' care and well-being. So it makes a big difference. So in developing this product through the pandemic, I mean, it launched like a couple of months ago. Is that correct?
That's right. Okay. We had the idea in October of 2020, right when the pandemic was getting really bad. Mm-hmm. And exactly back to your point, Clara, people get really busy. Our lives are getting more and more hectic. And even domestically, people are moving around and not necessarily always living close by their elders. Right. So, from a busy schedule and physically not being there, kind of two main reasons prompted me to provide a better solution.
Okay. Having this new platform, I'm excited. I'm wearing the pink. I'm widely with my outfit today.
Nice. And I've got the black one.
All right. So we're twins. Yeah. So let's talk about the idea of getting it to older Americans who are definitely, not all, let me say, we have a great number of seniors who have become part of the digital divide, whether they wanted to or not. So were there any barriers of introducing this product to the senior community?
Yeah. Apart from the idea being very uh, good and makes sense to the families,
Mm-hmm.
as far as the seniors, initially we did some research and found that at least 80% of seniors have a smartphone. And when we started actually talking to seniors, out in the field, we found that that statistic that we found was not the case.
Mm.
Um, and many times, uh, downloading an app and going through the entire process might also be a bit tough to go through. So I would say in terms of technology adoption, um, not 100% of the seniors that we talked to felt 100% comfortable. And that's just a matter of time, we feel, before the baby boomers who are completely used to smartphones and wearables are moving towards that general population.
Yes. So before we go any further, we want to introduce this visibility of the actual instrument. I love it. And I'm going to say this publicly. I was talking to Sean in our virtual green room, and knowing my lifestyle, very busy, one woman doing 19 things, I had an issue with blood pressure over the last 2 years, seriously. But now knowing I was able to make changes personally, I can keep monitoring my blood pressure at any time with this beautiful device. I'm serious. It's life changing. So we're going to play one of our videos to share with the community and those who are future clients. And we're going to tell you how you can get your own smartwatch. So everyone stay tuned. We're going to start with the blood pressure because I mentioned it. That's the key part. So let's get with that. And we'll be right back after this message. You are welcome to put your comments on Senior Talk Media's Facebook or YouTube page. Everyone stay tuned.
In order to calibrate your blood pressure value, first go to Mine. Under Personal Information, go to Measurement Calibration and go to Accurate Value. Here's where you can put in your systolic and diastolic numbers. Let's say put in 115 over 75. Tap outside of the keypad to get out of it and hit Confirm. This will link up to your watch. It takes 30 seconds to calibrate. Make sure that the watch is on your wrist. Once it's done, you can go back to Data, scroll up and go to BP. Here is where you can go ahead and start measuring. Now we'll get an accurate number that's close to your baseline. Remember, this is simply a calculated value that is for reference based only. It's not a direct measurement. Now we have our number, 118 over 76 with a 63 beats per minute heart rate. When you go back, you can see that this number is now tracked in the app. Today is Saturday the 12th, and the more measurements we take, the more data it will show in your app. And you can always go back in time and select the previous dates to see your previous blood pressure numbers.
Wow, that's deep. So we are going to bring the initial setup and all that, but let's talk about there's so much to offer with this one device. It's just life changing. What I like about it is that it's not intimidating. If you're given the proper instructions, it's not intimidating, and it makes a big difference. Now, as I mentioned, there is no cost to own this device. However, there is a fee. And tell us about, because one person I've mentioned them to in a setting with some other health professionals. Can we take the cost, and can insurance pick it up, or should it be individual? How do we talk about that conversation?
We're currently working with senior living communities. So this includes independent living, assisted living, and memory care. And we're also working with home care agencies. So both segments are coming from the private pay market where people are paying out of pocket.
True.
And we thought about it as, a very nominal monthly fee for the overall benefit that it offers for the person themselves to be able to understand their own change in health. And then for their families who care about them remotely, everybody gets access to the elderly, not just one person who's in charge of finding out the information and having to relay that to all of the siblings. Now we can have everybody who's interested to be able to see. And so we figured, compared to the thousands of dollars that people typically pay for senior living or home care services, our fee will be very nominal compared to the overall value that it delivers.
Wonderful. So what we want people to understand is we're going to also have a video about the initial setup. But when Sean and I were talking, the benefits, I'm serious, are just phenomenal because you can take their stats, there's your heart rate, there's your blood pressure. And if I'm not mistaken, because I'm looking at my device, there's even something for sport. So if I'm actually walking, is there a pedometer on here as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I got everything in one thing, and there's settings, and it's a stopwatch. You can get messages. So, what can we do? Who is the ideal candidate for this beautiful product?
Before we get to that, Claire, I also wanted to add in a couple of more key vitals that it tracks.
Sure, thank you.
Which we deliberately put in because of COVID. Number one is temperature, where the watch itself has a direct measurement of temperature probe, as you can see here. This the little stainless steel circle.
Sure.
And it also has pulse ox, so it measures your blood oxygen level. As we all know, that's super relevant to COVID. Both measurements can be taken at every 5-minute increments. And within the app, you're able to see the overall trend throughout the day. So that's a 24/7 monitoring.
Wow.
As far as the ideal person who should be wearing this, we designed the watch so that the buttons are a bit larger to be able to see. And also we kind of streamlined some of the operations. So like you said, a lot of it is pertaining to your health, your activity levels like steps, pedometer, how did you sleep the night before. It has a communication piece with text messages, emails. You can even get social media like Instagram. So if let's say your grandchild is messaging you on Facebook also, you can get all of the communications through the social media platforms.
Wow.
The person who should be wearing this, again, we kept it simple and large to see. And my personal motivation is to benefit the elders who can wear the watch and make the information for peace of mind that their families can have.
Absolutely. So let me say the website is here, pingcares.com. For those who are interested, we definitely would love for you to call the Senior Talk office because we are in partnership with Ping Health to make Ping Cares, not Ping Health. You're going to develop your own health network. It's all on the watch. You've done it already. But we're going to make sure that we have a lot of community events upcoming. And if you want this information, as I mentioned, I just took my temperature. I can't show everybody. How can I? But it tells me right now my temperature is 98.0. Ain't that something?
There you go.
Right away. What is an amazing tool. So what we're going to do now, Sean, is you have quite a few videos. Let's talk about the initial setup.
Sure.
And then we're going to come back with some more programming. And then we're going to conclude with the information, one of the videos about how the family can get the stats, because that's a really good one. So everyone stay tuned. Thank you all for tuning in on Senior Talk Media on YouTube and on Facebook. And we'll be right back after this quick break and message from Ping Cares, president, owner, CEO, founder, and a man who happens to be sitting still today because he's normally on roller skates, my brother Sean. Everyone stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Sean. I am the founder of Ping, and I'll be walking you through how to set up the Ping device. Once you open up the box, you will see that the first layer is where the watch is set at. As the face of the watch, as you power it on, press and hold the side button for about 5 seconds. Underneath, we have the user guide, which also walks you through these steps. Each box comes with 2 straps. One is the silicone, and one is Velcro, which is much more breathable and stretchy. We see this black cable, which is the charging cable. So now let's try the watch strap on. On both sides of the strap, you will see this little spring-loaded pin, which has a lever. The way we will put it on is kind of using gravity so that the pin actually falls into the hole right here. You'll see a tiny little hole on both lugs of the watch. We'll push the little pin down so that it actually snaps into the hole. Do the same thing on the other side. Once it snaps in, we're good to go. Okay, unstrap. The watch is ready to be placed on your wrist.
Wow. So that's just a setup. But we're literally under a year in introducing this product. And there are many communities. I know if Captain Mike is on it, as I call him, Captain Mike, he's been promoting this. What are the testimonies that you can share about this beautiful device?
Sure. Let's see if I can do a screen share. Is that possible to do here?
Let's see.
Otherwise, I guess I can talk about it from the perspective of the end users really quickly. For example, we had a cohort of about 25 users out of Frisbee Senior Center. So that's a community-based senior center that's located in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. And the main things that the users really enjoy is, number one, it's a very attractive piece of technology.
It's real cute. You're right.
Thank you. It comes in 3 colors, as you can see in the background color or background picture. We watched the video just now and saw that we're able to swap out different bands. The one that we found most people enjoy is this Velcro, which makes it very easy to put on and take off.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do like the attractiveness of it. It doesn't make them feel old,
Right.
like some of the products.
Right.
Secondly is, like I mentioned, to be able to see someone's own change in health, being able to see what was their blood pressure the day before and what's today's blood pressure. How does that differ? And not having to worry about writing that number down on a sheet of paper and taking the chances of losing it. This is all stored within the app, and you can go back in time, say 3 months ago. How does that compare to my data today?
Wow. Okay. Well, now that we're talking data and stats and development,
Yeah.
I mean, what is your background in creating this smartwatch, this senior smartwatch? What is your background? How can I entrust it? Oh, Sean, he's just not a guy that just looks good. He has education that brought him to create this device.
I'm not sure, but I studied engineering. I went to the University of Illinois. I did my undergrad and also master's there in engineering. And currently, actually, on my team, we're a fairly large team from the University of Chicago. We're all doing grad school of business at the Booth School of Business. So, I would say it's a pretty good blend of both understanding the market and what the users actually need, and from an engineering and data science perspective. We have a patent on our automatic fall detection algorithm. So that's going to be featured in our next generation of product. meaning that because it's automatic, someone doesn't need to push the button. Because we heard many stories in the past where, somebody's loved one might have fell and was unable to push the button.
Sure.
So we wanted to leverage the sensor input from the device and also the smarts of the artificial intelligence to be able to decipher, hey, somebody has actually fallen, to notify the families and local EMT accordingly.
All right. Now, what we're going to do now is, and I want you to really expound on this because this is one of the attractive features to me, the health data sharing. So let's get on that video because that's going to be the one of the top videos that we can share because that's what people want. We're caring for our loved ones. I didn't know I was getting ready to care for mom in the beginning of spring 2020 or dad. Right. Here we are now. So this device is going to make a big difference to quite a few people. So everyone, here's another quick informational note from Ping Cares. Here we go.
Once you launch the app, you can hit the little circle so that all the data will be synced from your watch to the phone. And once the data is synced, now it's ready to be sent to all the family caregivers remotely. Imagine this phone belongs to mom, and this phone belongs to her daughter who cares for her. And this could be done remotely. The daughter on the right will hit Add Friends and Family. Here in the search box is where you can put a ID number. So the phone on the left, we can go into this My function at the bottom right, which shows this ID that the daughter on the right can type in. 105 480 3228 and hit search. They'll be able to see Sean and attest. The person on the left, who is the mom, can now see the request coming from the family caregiver and agree to this data request as a way to ensure our data security and safety. The person on the left can now see a direct access into the persons on the left and all of their data. We see 6 hours and 3 minutes as the sleep time, which syncs up with the person on the left. 1920 number of steps, heart rate, and blood pressure.
Wow. Wow. Whew. So literally, I have my phone, so I can, let's say, put in the caregiver and I can really look at the same thing and the actual information, but it's just through that app.
That's right. That's right.
So you can take these vitals per se and at least have a better idea. Also, when you're going to your family physician, it's not a diagnosis utensil or instrument. Let's be clear.
Right.
It is not a diagnosis instrument, but the fact that I can at least know, okay, doc, 2 days ago or yesterday, my blood pressure was such and such, or I walked 1,900 steps when I walked maybe 880 steps yesterday. And how long is this information stored on the device?
This takes up the storage of your phone. So, these are all character-based digits, which take up very little room. So it could be as long as 6 months that you can go back in time. And we believe that the beauty of this is really to be able to see the trends over time. Sure. So you can see the graph and show that to your physician, not just to show a single snapshot, which sometimes, for example, your blood pressure could be spiked, knowing that you're going to get the measurement at your doctor's because
right.
But here we can see throughout the day, which no human is able to take every 5 minutes. The machine does it automatically and records it and plots it on a chart, and you can show that to your physician when you go see them.
Wow. Well, this is extremely life-changing, and I'm going to be, I am a media partner and community partner for this beautiful device. And as I tell people, some of us may think it's not for us, but let me tell you, if you're watching this program or even tuning in, it's for you. Life does happen. And a lot of us are we're getting back into a new normal that is a whole new normal from what we thought what was normal. We're learning things about it. So our schedules are not the same. Our exercise patterns are not the same. Just so many things that are changing. And so I just want everyone to really be mindful to consider this product and give us a call at the Senior Talk office at 312-428-6919. We're going to be sharing through all of our media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. You'll get the link. If you're very interested in having a presentation or in seeing this more directly to your community, definitely give me a call. We're here to serve you. The beautiful part about it, this device, if you look at and you think of all the other products that are very similar to it, you would be paying a whole lot of money. And I can tell you, for the price to retain this and get these stats and all the vitals on a monthly basis, it's less than you would spend if you had 2 cups of coffee at a particular place. On a monthly basis. We're not talking weekly. We're talking if you just did 1 cup or 1 meal. Some of us, we blow less than $20 somewhere in the world and we have no idea where it went. So we can say that we can help you. This beautiful device, as I mentioned, is at no cost. We will be telling you more about it, how to bring it to your community. We are looking for community expos, resource fairs, block club party, red hat, whatever. We want to be everywhere. And Senior Talk is happy to work also with our friends from the CAPS Department, 7th District. We're going there in upcoming months. But let me say, if you are very interested, our health-based ministries, what a great device to bring to your congregation. We don't take up a lot of time. It speaks for itself. So please invite us and give us an opportunity. So, Sean, we're at the close of our show. You were very good today. You were very well. Let me tell you, your videos can speak for you. I could have just played all your videos, but we wanted to see the owner and proprietor of this beautiful instrument because we like to put faces together to know what we're doing, how we're doing it, and hear from your mouth and lips directly and your testimonies. So how are the grandparents? I mean, are they, what did they receive the watch? What happened?
Of course. And one thing to mention is that Ping is actually named after my grandmother, which means peace and safety in Chinese. So came to think of it, peace made perfect sense because it's the peace of mind that we provide for the families.
Yeah.
Safety is the first thing that we want to ensure our elders to have is to be safe. And one last thing I would say is our next generation of product adds in not just the health aspect that we talked about with different vitals, but it also does have the safety with personal emergency response, automatic fall detection, GPS tracking for Alzheimer patients.
Wow.
And then, yes, because it will be LTE covered. So it has cellular coverage, eliminating the need for a cell phone. For the ones that don't have a smartphone, the device will be a standalone, ready to use out of the box.
Wow. Well, the fact that you're creating this device and improving it for the needs of the community is very much to be commended. And I thank you for your time and meeting with me last week and, giving me my opportunity to be mindful of my own daily regimen. And so I'm very excited about that. So everyone, we are so excited. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Don't forget to visit pingcares.com, PINGCARES.com. You can visit Senior Talk Media, call our office at 312-428-6919, and we will be happy to share this beautiful instrument. Seniors are getting better with age. They living longer, they traveling, they moving around. This is peace and safety in itself. If you can know grandma's at line dance class or swimming class, but what's going on, so this is a beautiful thing. So we're going to come back with more information on this product and we'll be in the community. We thank you, Sean, so much. And what is your closing remark for our listening and viewing audience today?
I thank you so much for your time. I think the 3 big things we want to leave you with would be safety, wellness, and social engagement. These are the 3 things that are always on our minds. So like I said, we have those safety and health focused. And the last piece, in terms of social isolation, which is a problem that's getting worse amongst older adults. We want to make the data available for the family so that when bad things happen, let's say if the older adult has been feeling lonely or has been having a bad mood for 3 days in a row, the family gets notified and can send them voice messages and check on my grandma directly.
Wow.
On the contrary, if grandma, let's say, meets her daily activity goals, like 2,000 steps, then you can send a kudos to grandma, getting grandma more involved and encouraged to live healthier. So,
All right. So give me those 3 terms again. I like you said safety, social engagement, and I'm missing one.
And wellness, which is mostly mental health and physical health.
All right. Well, everyone, it's been a pleasure. I am very excited to be a partner. I know I'm a talker, so I'm hitting the ground running, and we're going to make it happen. So again, everyone, you've been watching Senior Talk Media, Facebook Live, YouTube. This will play on many other upcoming markets in your community and your city. And thank you all for being a part of our show today. And thank you to our co-host, Mr. Sean, founder proprietor of Ping Cares, Peace and Safety. I love it. I love it. I love it. God bless you all. We'll see you next time.
God bless you. Thank you.
On Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard.